So let's go ahead and start with our first segment because what we normally do, Brandon, as you know, is we tell a story from our week. And since we have Walter in here today, he can also tell a story from his week. And each one of us, what we do when we tell these stories is we come up with a comical summary of it. So it's almost as if you're not really listening, but you hear the key parts of it, and then you make something funny out of it. So Brandon's going to start by telling us something from his week, and then
Well,
you and I can both chime in with our summary. What's up?
First, we should
Let's
introduce ourselves.
Yeah, let's introduce ourselves.
I'm Brandon Ellrich, and I recently changed my publication name to Humor and Hummus. So, and my podcast is still called Brandon Ellrich is So Gay, because that is kind of complicated to change that with YouTube and all that. But anyway.
We do know that Brandon actually wanted to change the name of his publication to Humor and Hummers, but that wouldn't fly.
Well,
so he said hummus.
I do have hummers. I have hummers outside all the time. Hummingbirds.
Oh, geez.
I mean, I'm assuming that's what you meant. Let's,
sure.
Whatever. All right. So anyway, I'm Brandon Ellrich, and sorry, go ahead.
I'm Sturg writes it down, and I'm Sturg writes it down everywhere. I branded myself across everything. I used to be just the Sturge, but now I'm Sturge writes it down. And we have a very special guest today who on Tuesdays with Two Gays, our first straight guest appearance. Go ahead and introduce yourself. No need for introduction, though.
Yeah, you are the first straight one.
It's okay to see you guys. Yes,
I mean, with us together.
He's like the first person to come on our show, other than us.
That's true.
Yeah. I do that a lot. I like jumping on people's shows. I like doing that. It makes me happy. And you guys, I've talked to you both. It's been a while since I've talked to you both, but everything's just been super busy. But I mean, everybody's been working really hard. I feel better now. I've been doing a lot of candidate interviews. That's the main thing. My Substack is called I'd Rather Be Writing, because frankly, I just like to write stories like the blue whale penis story, which is a popular one. Get a couple of laughs out of people.
I can't imagine why.
Oh, man.
Exactly. Oh, Pam Wade just said we are just people, and I totally agree.
Yeah.
All of us straight, gay, bi, anything in between, we're all people.
Yes, that is true. That's what we need to remember, for the love of God. I mean, come on.
And we need candidates who work for the people, but we'll get to that later.
Yeah, we're working hard for that. We're getting them. That's the good news.
Yeah, we are.
I was just in your live. I saw your live earlier this morning with Tevin Davis. I thought that was really cool. I'm a Survivor fan, but I haven't watched every season. But I looked his name up. I was like, I didn't recognize him, and I looked at the season. I was like, I guess I didn't see that one. Sometimes I just get kind of tired of it. I'm like, I don't want to deal with that this season or whatever. But he was really cool. I liked him.
Oh yeah, I didn't know he'd been on Survivor. I'd seen him on Substack, his really funny videos. He'll do these videos where he's cooking and he'll just kind of take down some conservative. It's just, they're hilarious. And so I just sent him a message like, hey, you're new on Substack. It's like, let me just introduce you to my, readers and viewers. And he's like, oh, okay. And then it was, teaching him how to do the live. I did that a lot with these congressional candidates too. So a lot of time that's just behind the scenes, like me sending a message, look for this, kind of troubleshooting, but just getting people to use these tools and interact. And he's a superstar, that Tevin Davis is.
Oh yeah. I think he might have mentioned Survivor when you were talking just in passing or whatever. I had to look it up because I was like, I don't recognize him, but he's an actor, and I would love to go see the play he's in. He's in the Confederates. I looked that up. I was like, well, that's in Virginia. It's kind of far for me, but maybe they'll do a tour or something.
He was talking about doing a tour, and then he sang a little bit, and it was like, oh, this was, I mean, he's such...
Oh, I didn't see that part.
Oh, it was beautiful. It almost brought me to tears. I mean, this guy, it was really fun this morning. And talking to you guys, I was tired. I was on my couch, and it's like, just talking to you guys energizes me too. I'll have to go sleep after this. I'm just like, roused to get on a live and then back to bed.
Well, hopefully we won't fall asleep while we're on the live today.
Well, I was gonna say we're all Gen X, but we're not really. I think only you two are. I'm a Zennial.
Yeah.
But, all right. So anyway, back to
my birthday was Saturday, by the way.
Happy birthday.
Quick.
Yeah. Well, you're gonna bring that up in your story, right? Of your week.
Well, yeah. I guess.
All right. Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
All right. So What happened to me this week? I mean, nothing really exciting. I saw the Odyssey last Tuesday night for the around
Up,
here.
down?
It was overall it was good. I would go as far as giving it like an A minus probably. But yeah, I thought the acting was great, and I put out a note that said, because as I was watching it, I noticed the superheroes in it. They had Tom Holland, who played a
Yeah. Oh,
superhero,
yeah.
and
Punisher.
it was Punisher and
Catwoman.
Catwoman. Anne Hathaway played Catwoman in one of the Batman, and Robert Pattinson. So I was like, I put out a note saying basically it was Batman tries to marry Catwoman while trying to kill her son Spider-Man, and I did this whole thing, but I
Matt
thought it was
Damon's
kind of
never
funny.
been. He's never been in a
I
superhero
know,
movie.
yeah. I was like, I looked it up, and he was actually offered the role of Daredevil back when
Ben
Ben Affleck
Yeah.
ended up taking it, but Matt turned it down, and they gave it or offered to Ben. So, but yeah, he's never played an actual superhero, which is kind of funny. But anyway, the Odyssey, saw that. I made some peanut butter s'mores bars, which were really good. And I made homemade fajitas with homemade tortillas. I've never made tortillas before. So it was my first time making like homemade tortillas. It was pretty simple, and they turned out good. So
Good.
I was happy with that. Had a
Are the
friend
homemade
over,
ones
and
better than store-bought ones?
I don't know as far as like I don't know, taste or quality or whatever. I mean, the store-bought ones are perfectly round. Mine were like, kind of misshapen, like, there's growth coming off of the side of it. But I mean, it was circular, I would say, but they tasted good. I really liked them.
Oh,
so
I know why Walter's laughing. He saw my comment.
I was.
I haven't been watching.
Yeah. Oh, that's funny.
Go ahead, tell your story, because I have something hilarious to say at the end.
Oh, it's up to me now to come up with a story?
No. So Brandon's still telling his story, and then once he's
I'm basically
you're
my
done?
friend came over. We made fajitas and might have had a couple gummies.
Okay, so I'll start with
other than that.
commentary.
I like
You
that.
watched some movie called Odyssey. I don't even know what that is, and then and then messed up.
Nobody's ever heard of that one.
I mean, yeah.
Oh, that's the
what I
summary.
got.
Oh,
Yeah, that's the satirical summary, I guess you could say.
Go ahead, Walter. What do you have to say about what he just told us?
Oh, I have to do a summary too? Yeah.
Yeah, just a quick, a little like blurb, but like funny.
Odd-shaped homemade tortillas, followed by gummies. And it was a 20-year epic journey to get there. I guess let's do it like that.
Oh yeah, that's a good. Yeah, there you go.
Good. That's good. I didn't think to weave the Odyssey back in that way. Okay, so this week was my birthday. It was Saturday. I had a karaoke party on Substack.
Ooh.
We spent 4 hours all together. It was like 10 of us had sang and had fun. And then on Monday, I went to a Mexican restaurant in a little town near the border of Pennsylvania and Ohio, in the area I'm in. And we went to a place called Los Venados Mexican restaurant. They're great Mexican food. But they have this thing called a monster burrito, which is $22.99, but it's a 2-foot burrito. And it has like shrimp, steak, chorizo, chicken, rice, beans, like everything. It's like loaded. This thing is a monster. I'll post it later. But Mike and I both had one of those, and that's like 3 meals for us. So I didn't finish that all in one sitting, obviously. It's a really big burrito, but yeah, that was pretty much it. And then Mike wanted me to bring this up. What was it? When I woke up this morning, right before we started doing this, because I woke up really late in the afternoon today, Mike stuck a banana in my mouth to wake me up. No, I mean a literal banana.
Okay.
But go ahead and have fun with this. I'm done.
That's the
and yes, I gave you fodder. Go ahead, Brandon.
Yeah, obviously. Well, Sounds like you went to the border of Mexico and tried to fit a monster burrito in your mouth, and instead you got a banana.
Yeah.
And you sang happy birthday to yourself.
I guess so. Okay. Walter?
Burritos, bananas, other euphemisms, and karaoke. So let's leave it.
Yeah. He got the assignment.
Yeah.
Okay, Walter, it's your turn. Now we get to rest your week.
Yeah, it's been pretty chill. I mean, we flew in. It's honestly, I'm still de-stressing from crossing the border, with my family, which was like, we had to go visit grandma in South America, but at the same time, it's like the second you're committed to that, you're like, they're gonna kill us, and we try to get back into the country. And it's like, even though you're like, you're being unreasonable, it's still like there's a chance they might kill us. So, but we've been kind of back, just kind of rested up, watching films. I watched with the kids Terminator 2 the other day, which I was like bringing out, and watching these films with the family becomes just an exercise in like mocking the film, laughing about Edward Furlong, then going down rabbit holes of what happened to his life. So it's been just kind of a chill. We watched Alien versus Predator just because it was on TV the other day. So all the good classics from the old days. Yeah, but we're just still kind of settling back in. Nothing really exciting this week. The best part has been talking on Substacks to wonderful people like you. So that's my week.
All right, go ahead, Brandon. You can start on this one.
All right. So you went south of the border and saw aliens, and came back into this country and saw predators, and
Says it all.
and it was pretty chill.
Yeah. It wasn't as bad as I thought. It wasn't as bad as I feared. Yeah.
So here's my summary. So Walter falsely leads us into thinking this week was chill, but then suddenly he's talking about flying back from South America, and his family nearly got shot down while they were flying.
Yeah.
Like literally flying, like flapping their wings. And then something about watching Donald Trump's administration fight illegal or undocumented immigrants or something, Alien versus Predator.
Yeah. Oh gosh. Yeah. That does snap into place, man.
Yeah. And
holy shit.
That's all I've got.
That is funny. And maybe that's somebody at the TV station's got a sense of humor, really. So I gotta get to know that guy. Man.
Oh, that was fun. This segment was fun with three people. I liked it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good job, everyone. Okay.
Different perspectives.
Now we get to read the news stories.
Awesome.
Oh, yes.
The bad news.
So I came up with a couple because one's more on the negative side and one's more positive. I didn't want to do just a negative. There's so many negative stories in the news, and it's hard not to find a negative one or negative aspects of what's in the news.
Yeah.
But I'll start with the negative so we can end on a positive note. So in February, or at least somewhere around there, Pete Hogsbreath, or sorry, Hegseth, whatever, however you pronounce it, he threatened to cut government funding for the Scouting America, formerly known as the Boy Scouts of America. And if they didn't comply with the anti-DEI, incentive and initiatives, I guess. So I guess every year there's a national jamboree that the Scouts put on, and
I used to go to that every year.
Yeah, so he said they were going to stop promote, like the Pentagon and the Department of War was going to stop their endorsement of scouting for America if they didn't stop hosting spaces for gays, women, and people of color. And of course, and Scouting America, they gave in to it. And so a lot of or at least some of the scouts who had signed up pulled their participation because of them getting rid of those spaces. So that's pretty sad. I guess I'll wait, and if you guys have anything to comment about that before I say the second one.
Don't I mean, I'm sure they realize it already, but this administration should realize that DEI policies or whatever they want to call it are good for everyone. Like, this is just nonsense.
Yeah. And like there's that thing going on. Are they still pushing the testosterone level thing in the military? Like the gender affirming care of making sure all the men in the military have the testosterone levels high. It's like,
Oh, I hadn't heard that.
oh, you hadn't heard about this yet? And it's like, but I mean, it's just comical because everything they do, it just collapses underneath them. Like if Hank is out there saying men have to have their testosterone at a certain level, it's like that's gender affirming care is what you're doing.
Yeah,
and it's just,
right.
and I always laugh too, like, you know, cowboy boots are high heel boots for men. It's fine if it makes you happy to wear them, wear them. And it's like all of these things that are like identified with the conservatives, it just undermines them and it exposes them. There was a note today of like this all male gym, and they already like caught dudes, you know, extracurricular activities in the bathroom because they weren't letting women in because they didn't want
I heard it. I heard they were wanting to do like all male gyms.
Oh man, yeah,
I was like,
oh god.
So their point was like they wanted to do all male gyms so they could stop the infidelity and stuff like that. I'm like, that's actually going to increase it. I think.
They just
Brandon actually went online to try to find out how he could join this gym.
Oh yeah, I want to see where are these gyms?
Oh man, so they just everything they try to address, they just change. They like do the exact thing that is like, you know, and then they're all mad about the fact that they're making, I don't know, because you can't defeat human nature. It's like they live in constant denial what people are. They want to forge us into this reality that doesn't exist, and they perpetually lose, and it's just getting funnier and funnier, even as it's horrible.
Yeah.
They don't like to be laughed at, you know?
Well, here's the thing. As we're watching it all unfold, you can't help but laugh at the situation, but also cry at the same time.
You have to laugh. It's those gallows humor, that pressure, the stress relief. And there's a lot of time when I get really mad about something, I'll just do like a, and it's like, it's just that laugh of I'm about to kick somebody's ass. It's like, you don't want to be misconstrued. It's like, I don't think this is funny. And this is just my pressure release. So I don't like implode here.
Yeah. Like our minds just like, oh my gosh. Yeah. I get scrambled up and then just like totally lose touch with reality at that point.
Yeah. Oh man.
Yeah. What's your other news story? Because I have one too, so I want to get to that, and it's a really fun one because I have some names to pronounce, and I just that's gonna be fun.
Gosh,
practicing the pronunciation.
Yeah.
So in North Carolina, State Representative Aaron-Pare, I guess you'd say it, is Pare with a little.
Okay.
What's that called?
Pare. Yeah, Pare. Pare.
So she said it may be time to introduce legislation requiring public school employees to wear gender-appropriate professional attire.
Again.
Because, there's a Wake County school district that hired a transgender teacher. So, of course, they all of a sudden now they've got to make all the teachers wear gender-appropriate, whatever that is. Are they going to make all the women wear dresses and all the men wear suits? I don't know. But the school pushed back on it, which is, I'm getting to the good part now, the positive part of it. The school pushed back and they stated their anti-discriminatory policy that says they don't discriminate based on, gender and sexual orientation or race and et cetera, et cetera. So they said, no, we're going by, what the federal government, allows us and all that. So
what state was that again?
It was North Carolina.
Oh, okay. Well, that's a good sign.
Yeah,
they push back.
Well, because the thing is, North Carolina is the state that a few years ago had passed that legislation that didn't allow trans people into bathrooms that didn't align with their assigned gender or assigned gender at birth. Correct.
So somebody's checking at the door is how they enforce that.
Do you have a penis?
Yeah.
Do you have a penis? Do you have a penis?
When it gets to that,
let me feel that.
Man. But when it comes to like I wrote a satirical article about that a while ago. Like, if you want to dress if you're a man and you want to dress more provocatively, dress like the founding fathers. They always had like riding pants and like like leather boots that came up to the knees and like a wig. It's like, I'm just dressing like George Washington, but you could be like a super sexy George. It's like, how are they prosecuting me for dressing like a founding father when it's like the super sexy version of a founding father?
That would be pretty hilarious, actually. Yeah.
I had a picture of one of them. Yeah.
Some of those riding pants are kind of tight.
They are. Look at the picture. If you look at the pictures of the founding fathers, they're always like doing their thing too, and it's like it is.
The way like putting their leg out and pointing their toes out.
And those jackets they wear, but it's a wig, it's makeup, it's leather boots and riding pants. Yeah, that could be
is this a Friday night in Chicago? I mean, come on! Like, what are we doing here? Like,
I was thinking of dressing like that for my interviews with candidates, like be.
Oh my god!
Yeah, I got
if you wore like the leather with the one like with your nipples showing and stuff and like I mean that'd be great. And then like while those
maybe a little unprofessional in that one.
Yeah, no, but while those progressive candidates are talking, he's just rubbing his nipples and like making noises while they're doing it.
We'll see what it does to the viewer count. If it gets to the look good, they're ready to go. It's like this is when we don't take PAC funding, this is what we got to do.
Thousands. Everybody's
that brings up something you're talking about progressive. Talking about progressive candidates, have you interviewed any like Republican candidates or anybody from the other side? I was just curious if you have.
It's interesting. It just started out. It was no plan. I reached out to the congressional candidate that was going to be in this district. She was the one that's been approved by the DNC, so they never responded. So I'm like, okay, I'm just going to find people that are challenging these do-nothing incumbents. And it's like all of them. And there's so many great people, lawyers and doctors and just educated people. And they all tell me, I'm just like, these are people that would cost you like $300 professionally to go and talk to them for an hour because they're like that level of professionalism. I'm like, why are you bothering talking to me? And they're like, literally nobody else will talk to us. They won't. And it's just sort of like, it shows the people have so much power, because I interviewed Francesca Hung really early. She's going to be the nominee for governor in the state of Wisconsin.
Do you think Francesca Hung is going to win?
I believe without question. Question. And we're seeing because everybody's pushing back so hard against all these lies of the DNC. Well, the DNC insists it is a right-wing party. They always say we can't go too far left. That's a declaration that they are a right-wing party. And then
center.
And they elect these people. They say this is the safe candidate, and then even if that candidate gets elected, they vote with the Republicans. How is it safe to vote for a Democrat who then turns and votes with the Republicans? That's a loss. That guarantees a loss.
I'm sorry, everyone, for Fetterman. I mean, I'm in Pennsylvania. I didn't vote for Fetterman, but I'm sorry for Fetterman.
Well, the whole world's sorry for Fetterman. It's not your fault. But I mean, that's the other thing. We put new candidates in. If they're bad, like Fetterman is, we replace them in the primaries. That's why we have primaries. We put new people in there. We participate in our government. But the establishment doesn't want it. And the people that have been willing to talk to me, just the fact that they're willing to come and talk to me shows that they're a good candidate. I've thanked them all. I said, thank you for being of the new generation that is willing to talk to a regular person. And what we've seen in this last year is what the United States wants, is representatives that don't just ignore us and only talk to their rich donors.
Exactly. And speaking of candidates that don't want to talk to just the rich donor. I mean, well, these are people who don't even want to talk to those rich donors, but this is a story about, I hope I get her name right, Daria Liza Avila Chevalier, who plans to join the Congressional Black Caucus. She is an Afro-Latino candidate, a Democratic Socialist who ousted New York Representative Adriano Espaillat in a June primary upset for the New York District 13 House seat. She plans to seek membership in both the Congressional Black Caucus and the Congressional Hispanic Caucus once sworn in, her campaign told Semafor. That would make her only the third Afro-Latino lawmaker to sit in both caucuses simultaneously. and I giggle because I'm immature at the word caucus. Okay. Espaillat was blocked from Black Caucus membership because he didn't have a big enough black. Oh, never mind. Avila Chevalier's campaign said she has already spoken with several Black Caucus members, including House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries, their first conversation since her primary win, and is excited about joining the caucus and their fights. Black Caucus Chair Representative Yvette Clark, also a Democrat from New York, said in a statement that established processes would determine future membership after the new Congress starts. That almost sounds like the establishment saying that they might not invite her. But I do read that a staffer for the Hispanic Caucus, which Espaillat chaired, said all incoming Latino members are eligible to join once sworn in. Avila Chevalier's team said she has also spoken with a range of CHC members and intends to join. All right, that's my story. Let's get into it for a little bit, and then we have another segment that I'm excited about. So go ahead, Walter.
Well, it's good to see that there's at least some discussion going on between the people who've won primaries and the Democratic establishment, because they've been the Democratic establishment has been awful. I mean, they are the one I wrote the other day. They're disregarding that children are getting raped in these concentration camps that the DNC helped to fund, and they're instead attacking, the candidates the voters are choosing. We're seeing that in the news. It's really pissing me off. And what we need to see is the Democrats to stop attacking these new candidates that are winning primaries, get behind them, help them get elected. And I'm just actually at this point, I'm really worried about sabotage when it comes to the corporate establishment, because they're all, but at the same time, even though I think they're trying to sabotage these candidates, they'd prefer to see Republicans win than Democrats who are more left leaning. But the fact that they are attacking them just drives more voters to those people because the people want that change. So I think it sounds like they're doing this kind of delay tactic, like, well, we'll see when they get sworn in, like they want to just kick it down the road. I think they're going to be surprised to see that all these candidates are going to win.
Yeah, exactly. And I do want to go back to something that was leaked almost a decade ago now, when the DNC basically said we'd rather have Trump than Bernie, because Bernie threatens us more than Trump.
That's what they got. Yeah.
And they still try to complain, oh, well, Hillary should have won. You should have voted for Hillary. It's like, well, if you never mind. All right, Brandon, what do you have to say here?
I don't know. I mean, what is there? I was watching there's one guy I'm in Missouri, and there's a guy on TikTok that's running. I don't remember what office he was running. I just saw a short video where he was like trying to, put himself out there as Democratic candidate. I wish I could remember his name, but I'll have to go back through my
primary
TikTok
today,
to see if,
isn't it? The primary is today in
Yeah. That's why I think that's why it was coming up in the feed yesterday. But
I only interviewed one guy, Tommy Hollister. I think he's the only guy I interviewed in Michigan. And it's like, it was like 30 or 40 candidates, and it's like 10% of the race. I mean, it's hard to cover all the candidates because there's so many different, and some of these primaries, 7, 8 guys in it. It's a big job. And the fact that the media just never covers primaries is an abdication of duty. We need to be covering. I voted in the primary in Wisconsin. There were people on the ballot for some of the down ballot races. I went online. There were people that I couldn't find a picture of them online. And I'm just like, how are you running for any kind of, elected seat? And nobody can, how can you not have a picture of you online? So I didn't vote for that. I voted for the other guy just on the basis of that. I'm like, that's just bizarre.
Yeah, I typically like to, if I don't know anything about any of the candidates, which is rare for me because I try to stay informed. Yeah. But if I don't know about any of the candidates, I just don't put a vote in for that race.
Yeah. Well, and that's part of the reason I'm like, I'm going to have an hour conversation with these candidates. It's not going to be like an endorsement or anything. It's just going to be like out getting coffee. I don't even talk to them about policy too much. Just like get a sense of these people. And then it's like send the interviews to local papers. And of course, the local papers don't want to publish it. They deliberately want to suppress information about candidates in prime, is what it feels like to me, because nobody shares this except for when Malat Kiros won, and then Fox News did a hit piece, on that segment, which was just
I saw that. I was like, Walter Ryan is famous now.
Oh, I guess.
I was
Well,
like,
yeah.
you made it to Fox News and they ripped on you, so you know you've made it.
Yeah, well, I didn't watch it, but I'm just like, I'm not gonna. But people have been saying it. I guess they're like attacking my masculinity and stuff, and I'm like, you know what? First of all, you guys should be paying me because you're taking my content and using it. You guys are all anti. You guys are all pro capitalism. Where's my check, you dickheads? And second, if
Right?
you want to rip on me, it's like come and do it to my face, please. Be man enough to do that at least. Which I would just
And the
love
thing
being in the
is,
same room with some of those guys.
well, here's the thing. So, I mean, they took the Pete Hegseth approach to attacking you instead of attacking what you were actually saying. They're like, oh, his masculinity or whatever. It's like, who cares? Like, you're who you are. It doesn't matter about how masculine you appear. Like, none of
That
us care about that.
Yeah. Well, that conversation, and I keep saying the one with Malad and Erica Kopp, it was the one time I've had a political conversation with zero mansplaining. It was just supremely educated. I was outclassed by the brilliance of these two women. All they had was solution after solution, and I'm just like, just shut up, let them do their thing.
Yeah,
This is,
exactly.
and it felt so good to be in that conference. Like we could have this in our whole government. These brilliant women who are like, this is how we fix this is how we fix it. That's all. And I was like, that was amazing. It was a great talk.
I I would absolutely love that. I'd love to be in that room and just listen to those women speak. I wouldn't even have to say anything. I would just
Thank
be
you,
there.
Fiona. Yeah. No, it's and just I'm finding too, it's like some people have said, "Oh, you should run." And I'm like, this is where I need to be. I could be like the class clown who elevates brilliant women as like at platforms. And because a lot of them, the first time I reach out, people are starting a campaign. They don't have any followers or subscribers. Nobody knows who they are. So this gives them that first tiny little bit of credibility. This is a great place for me to be, right at the the very
Oh,
first
yeah.
step. And then it's like they get way beyond me. Perfect. I did a small thing. I helped them on that very first step. That's really
I just realized something. I'm gonna laugh about this too. So you're wearing purple today. Brandon's wearing aqua and I'm wearing green, and I'll tell you why. Oh, I read banned books. Nice. Well, I'm gonna tell you why it makes me laugh, because you live in Wisconsin, which is technically a purple state, right? So
yeah,
you're
yeah.
you're representing Wisconsin Day with your purple. I'm a Green Party vote. Well, I'm a technically
Oh,
like more of like a Green Party vote. I'm wearing my green today, and Brandon's just kind of ambiguous, so he's aqua. There we go.
oh, those
I'm
are good
kidding.
colors. That is a
I'm
good
kidding.
color combination. That worked out good.
I did say that we didn't plan this coordination today in the comments earlier. I was like, I noticed how we match up well with our brilliant colors on our tops, and I'm just like, we didn't prepare this. We really
A
didn't.
happy
I mean,
coincidence.
yes, exactly. So there is something fun we do in this next segment, which I'm really looking forward to. We get to read one of our stories, and I'm pulling one from Medium, a satirical story I did about why does Luxembourg even exist. But I'm going to start with Brandon because Brandon usually reads first, and we're going to have him read one of his stories today, and then
So
we
I was
talk
I
about
was
it again.
looking
We talk about it again after.
I was looking back at some of my I was going to do like a recap of some of the well-performing posts that I've had
Mhm.
this year so
Yeah.
far because we've kind of gotten past the halfway point. So
Okay.
the one that's gotten the most views is why do men send dick pics?
Oh. Yeah, Walter.
And
Why do
What's
they?
up with that? What are you doing? What are you doing? You're
Well,
married.
we're
so
gonna read.
Jesus.
He's laying it out there.
Jenny O'Connor is the one that we go back and forth in notes and talk to each other all the time, but she said she was going to be writing an article about dick pics. And she's like, this would be a good one for you to counter or whatever. And it's like, all right. So last fall, I talked to Christy Keller and Dre Beltrami about dick and ass pics, among other things, on a live video. And when Jenny O'Connor told me she'd be writing an article about dick pics, I knew I had to respond. So if you want to read her article, you can go and find that. But as many dick pics as Jenny or any other woman has received, I've probably seen more. I've requested some, but while others have been unsolicited, Grindr is full of men in all manner of undress. The app doesn't allow nudity on their main profile picture, but it does have an option to click whether or not you want to receive NSFW pics. The optional responses are no response, never, not at first, or yes, please. And Mine's currently set on yes, please, because it doesn't bother me to get them on that app. We're pretty much all there for the same purpose of hooking up, which I don't actually do very often. But so might as well get straight to it. Plus, I can easily delete it and move on. However, I agree. I agree on at least one point Jenny makes in her article. I don't care much for seeing a disembodied dingaling.
Oh my goodness.
Some gay men are different, I guess, but I'm only sexually aroused by a person I find attractive. The knob goblin ain't gonna do it alone. I want to see the guy's face or at least his body. If his willy is the only thing he's willing to show me, then we're not going to meet. So back down to the question, why are men prone to proffering penis pics? Overall, men have egos much bigger than their Thor hammers, so they like to show off what they have. This applies to cars, jobs, hunting trophies, sports trophies, money, muscles, and yes, tallywhackers. They like to show off not only to others, but to themselves. When it comes to their own bodies, some homoeroticism is involved. Just visit any gym and you'll see tons of examples of this, like we were talking about a little bit earlier. If you admire yourself in a mirror and like what you see, you're at least a little bit gay. Think about it. You're gazing at a man, admiring his muscles as he flexes and curls a dumbbell. Never mind that the man is you, it's still a man. Like I said, it's kind of gay. But we all like our own meat mallets. We like to look at them, play with them, measure them, and of course, masturbate with them. The male ego says, if I like it so much, other people would surely like it too. So Jenny receiving a morning Peter pic is understandable, the fact that it was in the morning, not that it was unsolicited. Whether male or female, we all know about the phenomenon of morning wood. It's quite common and often has nothing to do with sexual arousal. When men are asleep and have the urge to urinate, their lymph noodle becomes a stiffy, which makes it much more difficult to pee, thus preventing wetting the bed. It's a nifty, unconscious, automatic shutoff. However, once the hose is hard and the man is awake, he suddenly does become aroused. The egotistical man says, why waste a good hard-on? I'll send it to the woman who liked my photo on Hinge because she obviously wants to have sex with me. And if she doesn't, my sausage will seal the deal. You'll probably laugh at such absurdity. You'd like to believe that the average man is more logical, more understanding, more empathetic. I assure you he isn't. Jenny mentioned the new socks pic, which I can relate to because one guy asked me, want to see my new shoes? And whipped it out to show me when I looked down. This was in real life, but still unsolicited. But the other part of this has nothing to do with what women want. Many men don't care if a dame desires his displayed dipstick. These men are exhibitionists who are aroused by showing it off. It's about what he's getting out of it. I can't relate to this because I want somebody who wants me. Knowing my tendency for low self-esteem, if somebody were disgusted by me, my body, or any part of it, I'd internalize it and get nothing positive from the experience. A true exhibitionist doesn't care what kind of reaction they get. This theory is further corroborated by the reaction to Jenny's statement on her bio. Allergic to unsolicited dick pics. She said that all men everywhere responded by sending her their dicks. But it doesn't take much encouragement for a fella to flash his flesh flute. From there, I guess he attributes this desire to all women. I don't know. It doesn't make sense, but as we established earlier, logic and understanding are not at play here. These men also don't have to be closeted. A common fantasy among gay men is to turn a straight guy. Maybe the appeal lies in wanting something we can't have, or maybe it's the masculinity of some straight men. At any rate, I can imagine some gay men pretending to be women and sort of catfishing them. Finally, some dudes display their dicks because they're, well, dicks.
Oh man, that was fantastic. I like the all the names were like like you could draw like it was like connect the dots with all the names that you wasn't on there. The one time one of my friends was talking about it was actually a man talking about he got a dick pic. So I went on Facebook and I sent him a picture of Dick Van Dyke.
Oh, yeah.
You know? And he was
Yeah,
just like, "What the hell is this?" I'm like, "It's a dick pic." But then the other thought I
That's
had
a good
was
one.
like, have you ever encountered men who, like, set anything up, like artistic photography, or, like, they dress it up like the moon landing? You know, it's like, so the first time you look at it, you don't realize
Oh,
what it is. It's like, "Oh my god, there I recognize."
oh,
Or you do, like, you've seen the shot with the camels where it's, like, the shadows and you don't recognize, so do the same thing, like, line them up with, like, multiple exposures. Like, something actually kind of
right.
interesting, but I think it's because a lot of men won't understand arousal, right? It's like, you like, start with a kiss, man, you know? Like, don't go straight in. It's like, do a couple things. Do a couple things in the lead up. Like, generate the desire first. And like, so many dudes are just like completely unaware of how, it's just that ineptitude when it comes to their own sexuality.
A
Am
lot of
I
them want to skip
yeah.
the foreplay,
What am I
Yeah.
and
understanding this clearly is Walter advocating for if somebody's gonna send a dick pic, that they kiss it first? You know,
They kiss what?
like there's a picture of somebody kissing the dick in there? I mean, like, is this what we're advocating for?
No, that wasn't what I intended. I just want just a kiss. At least a kind word. A compliment first, please. But I like the artistic idea of it. I mean, you could legitimately, because it's not a pretty thing, is it? Like, how do we prettify that thing? Nobody even talks about that, right? It's always like in its worst state. How do we make it beautiful? How do we do that?
Remember the bedazzler back from the, like, the 90s in the infomercial? Yeah, bedazzle your dick.
bedazzle.
Yeah.
Oh man, yeah. I
Put
don't
some,
A bedazzled
put some
banana.
like wrap it
some
up in lights like a Christmas tree.
I was gonna say that's
Oh,
exactly what I was
yeah.
about to say. Christmas
Stuff like
garland
that.
too. Oh my
Nope. Kim says, "Nope, please." Details, Kim. I don't know what I don't
oh
know.
yeah.
Like a little bit of artistry there. It could be a
Exactly.
thing. Yeah, you could put
Exactly.
it on display at a museum so people could. It's the unsolicited part that is the problem. But if you're like,
Right.
here's an expo of like artistic pics that people could choose then to go, that would be okay, right? Let's hear it in the comments if I'm way off base there. But it seems to me like there's male body positivity is not a bad thing as long as it's done with a little bit of respect for everybody else.
Well, your
Ben
co-host
Ulansky,
Ben came in. Yeah,
yeah,
I was just
he
about to
said
say. He
Walter
said
takes
it's
artsy dick pics. It's hashtag Walter takes artsy dick pics. And
That's
mine
all.
is hashtag Walter Ryan's gallery of artistic
Oh my
pics.
god, no, this okay, good, good. That's all the candidates I'm interviewed are gonna be real happy to see that trend.
Free the peen. All right, let's shift focus and talk about a tiny dick country. So
Oh,
we're talking about why is Luxembourg even a thing?
oh man.
The country is so tiny it could just get incorporated into one of the surrounding countries. Have you ever looked at a map of Europe recently? It seems like Europe is fond of its microstates. They have countries like Vatican City, San Marino, Malta, Monaco, Liechtenstein, and most ridiculous of them all, Luxembourg. Ridiculous, you say? Why? I mean, you see what happened above. I couldn't even properly identify it on a blank map of Europe. The image on top actually has me circling Liechtenstein, so that's funny. Why did I choose to rant about this small and proud European nation? It's because I love geography and wanted to rant about a country so insignificant and tiny that I wouldn't offend as many people with this rant. I figured that I should go for the Vatican, but then I realized the power of the Holy See outside of the borders and refrained from attempting to offend billions of Catholics. But back to the topic at hand. The country of Luxembourg is so ridiculous that they named their capital and largest city in the country the same thing. They got lazy. I'm looking at you, Mexico and Panama. I was shocked to find out when I read about the country that they even have their own distinct language. Like, huh? You would think that a country this small would have its wouldn't even have its own language, but many of their residents speak different languages as well, including many of the surrounding languages in the countries around them, such as French and German. Their main official language is Luxembourgish. They claim French and German as co-official language as well. I know plenty of countries name their language after their country name, but keep in mind they already used Luxembourg as their capital city, so this feels even lazier. And have you ever heard Luxembourgish spoken? It's basically just a mix of French, German, and Dutch. And since German and Dutch are fairly similar, I like to call this language spicy German. Wat für in nein Onsens as dat? The country is merely the size of the land area of the Alaskan city of Wrangell, or also think about a state 33% larger than the city of Jacksonville, Florida, with roughly the population of the incorporated city of Las Vegas, Nevada at around 650,000 people. I suppose that you could think of Luxembourg then as a European Jacksonville, Florida, without the same appeal and minus the professional American football team. Apparently, it only takes a couple of hours to drive through the country from north to south, and much less going east to west. This is essentially the equivalent of a flyover rural American state. Why would anyone want to visit or live in this country? Well, it's rich for one. In fact, it's the second richest country per capita in the world. But at the same time, why would I pay higher prices to live in the middle of nowhere, essentially? I could move to France, Germany, or the Netherlands and have a lot more to do. I mean, I guess if you're quirky and like weird tiny nations with a conglomeration of cultures and languages aside, castles and thick forests with museums and probably the most boring capital city in the world. Honestly, if you're not a rich European, you'd probably want to skip this country altogether. The thing is, after writing this, I don't think I did enough damage to this tiny country, but I'm almost certain that they won't invite me to become the next minister of tourism anytime soon, especially since I'm advocating for one of their more larger neighbors to take them over. My bets are on the German. Dies wird wahrscheinlich nicht passieren, aber es wäre lustig, wenn es passieren würde, habe ich recht, liebe Deutsche. Maybe it's just fine to leave this country alone. They were established in 1850 and they're not really messing with anyone in any other part of the world. But I guess for all the reasons I listed and thinking, why is this place even necessary? Also, Germany is 35% less expensive on average than this country. And it's October at the moment. This is when I wrote it. So do I even have to say the words Oktoberfest to give you a reason to drive quickly through Luxembourg just to rush over to Germany for the grand celebration? Maybe I'm a little biased. I speak German after all, but before I didn't even know what to think as a child looking at this tiny blip on the map. Well, I guess the one positive thing I can say about Luxembourg, though, is it's not Liechtenstein, right? Don't get me started.
Oh, nice. That was good.
Did you like the German I threw in there?
Yeah, mine is so bad. It's been a long time since I studied, but I got a couple little bits in it. Sounded good anyway.
Oh yeah, my German pronunciation has been.
Is that these are both on Substack, these two stories, or Medium as well?
Well, that one's on Medium. I should share that. I actually, after reading it, I should share it to Substack. That'd be nice.
Yeah, do that.
Yeah. I'm going to.
I think mine's on Substack, but I might have put it on Medium too. I don't put much on Medium anymore. It's kind of dead for me. So
yeah, my process, I write everything. I put it in the draft on Medium too. And I did have one though last week or last 2 months ago, ended up making me like $1,200 on just out of nowhere.
Oh, wow, that's cool.
Okay. So like in the time I'll write something on Substack, I'll just take that extra like 10 minutes, put a draft on Medium, but don't publish it yet. So it's like at some point I can go back there and just publish it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like a lottery where every now and then one of them takes off. So
yeah. I didn't monetize that one back then because I don't know if you remember this, Walter, but I wasn't monetized for a long time.
Yeah, you said that
on Medium.
Yeah.
It was 4.5 years, and then all of a sudden I started monetizing back in December of this last year because I've been on Medium since 2022. Well, actually, oh my God, no, 2021. The time's flying by so fast. Actually, this month will be my 5 years.
Yeah.
And I've been at the last 2 Medium days. I didn't apply for this one because I injured my ankle in May and I wasn't thinking about anything outside of just healing. I still haven't been able to walk in 74 days without crutches. I broke my ankle. So
oh no.
Yeah, it's gonna take me a while to start walking. I did stand on it the other day and that's progress. But yeah, no, I just didn't think about applying to Medium Day this year. But then one of my friends who got accepted to Medium Day got accepted to do a disability talk on Medium Day at 2 p.m. Elle Becker, you know her. She and I and a couple other women are going to come on and do a disability talk. So I'm actually going to be a part of this Medium Day. So it's going to be the third one in a row.
Oh, I'll have to try and jump in there. I do like doing it. It's so fun. It's just another community. And I do like that they do these Medium days where you get to see all these people. The real joy of Substack has been able to get to see everybody, and have these friendships with all the people whose stories you just knew. And I've talked about, Ben has been in the chat. I've talked about a lot how you've read people's stories long enough, you kind of get a sense of what they're going to be like. And then you get to them in real life and you're like, oh yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah.
I was going to say, are you often surprised by what you find, or is it pretty like, oh yeah, it matches?
It's like, it's like the car getting into the track. It's like at first you're like, this seems odd, and then it's like, oh, okay, this is familiar now, and then you kind of find your way. I think it's kind of neat.
Yeah.
So Brandon and I last year were in the booth. I think it was during the pub crawl because we were representing for the publication that I started and that he's an editor for me in Digital Global Traveler that you've seen it.
Yeah.
And we had a lot of fun just hanging out for a couple hours with people that were genuinely interested. We had like a dozen people in the room at one point, didn't we?
Yeah.
I don't even remember. That was so long ago. It
That was
seems
last
like,
year.
but it was only last year. I know. It's like,
well, it's nice when they come into the room and then you're seeing everybody's faces and you're able to interact. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's what.
All right. We got another segment coming up, and then we're gonna do our fan mail.
Oh, okay.
This segment is a debate between not Mike and I. Mike is my boyfriend, but between Brandon and I. So I'm arguing for side A. This is the argument of on Medium or Substack, wherever you write, the open book versus the private vault. So I'm going to argue side A, even though we let people know beforehand. The disclaimer is these aren't necessarily the sides that we actually believe in, but we assign each other one side versus the other, and we argue the points. So I'm arguing side A, which is the open book. Oversharing is therapy and community. And Brandon is going to argue the private vault side. So since I'm side A, I'll go first. And this is the open book. So my main thesis here for this argument is sharing your messy, unfiltered, and personal parts of your life isn't narcissistic. It's helping people see, it's building human connection, and it cures your isolation, and it helps others as well. So one point that I want to make here about it is that, a lot of people are lonely. When they read about somebody else's struggles, their drama, whatever is going on with them, they realize that they aren't alone. So you'll find your audience that way. Your honesty gives your readers permission, basically, to accept their own flaws. So they'll read something that you write. Like, I've been through a lot of shit. Like right now, I'm a full-time camper, but I mean, I didn't necessarily want this life. It kind of got forced onto me because of the cost of living, COVID, just a bunch of stuff fell into place and made it to where I had to overcome all this stuff. The second point I'm going to make about this open book thing is, you want to reclaim your narrative. If somebody's going to try to like say stuff about you and try to like put out something that's, fake and, they'll accuse you of something, you're putting your own story out there. You're getting ahead of the story. And you're basically telling people this is how my life really is. Also, another point I want to make is that, for me, art requires like being vulnerable to people. Like you can't build something beautiful if you can't be vulnerable. And if you're a private vault, like people don't feel like they know you, but I feel like people know me because I write about my life constantly, and I'm definitely an open book. I think secrets honestly keep us sick. Sharing our stories is the only way we can heal. And at the end of the day, that's how we connect with people, and people who can relate to us or whatever, even if they can't relate to you.
You can still feel other people's emotions.
Exactly. There you go, Mike. Mike finished my point for me.
Oh, there he was. I was like, where'd that voice come from? I'm like, oh,
yeah.
my goodness.
That was my mic. He's right next to me. All right. He can only hear my side of it, though. So now let's get to the mystery man here. Side B, Brandon, what are you going to tell me? What is your reason why you'd be a private vault?
Mainly safety.
Okay.
When you start putting your stuff out there and talking about, especially like in the gay community or LGBTQ plus community, if you're talking about your life and who you are and everything, that tends to attract the other side, the ones who wants to fight against you and whatnot. And some are crazy enough to seek you out and, come after you. I know I've heard a couple of people on Substack. I know KR Byers was one where a guy sent him a picture of his own front door or the front of his house or whatever, and threatening and that kind of thing. And even though that guy probably wasn't going to actually come to his house, he was just doing that just to scare him, and just to put that fear in his mind or whatever to get in his head. But I think it worked to some extent.
Yep.
And there are some people who don't go by like the Mouthy Renegade. He was talking, a while back.
Before you get into that point, I was actually gonna tell Walter this. Yeah, because we both know what his name is. Like, I don't think it was a secret what his name is because he's a mutual friend of. Well, I think all of us are mutual friends with him. But I now when I engage with him, I don't say his first name anymore. I say Mr. Malfi or Mrs. Malfi for his wife.
Yeah,
But,
he talked about that a while back, saying he's not going to use his name anymore because of threats to himself or his family and protection. And I think that has to go above, in some cases, especially if you have a family, that has to be a priority. And sometimes you have to be careful about what you put out there. Yeah. But at the same time, you can't accomplish a lot unless you do kind of open yourself up and like make connections. I put stuff out there like about what things that went on with me during growing up and stuff like that. But I don't talk specifically about my family or who they are or whatever, because I don't want them involved in my writing at all. And I don't want people to seek them out or anything like that. Yeah. And, because that I try to I compartmentalize a lot. My writing life is this, and but it does kind of blur a little bit because I have met Sturg and Robin Wilding and Ben, and I've met all of these. I've met 10 Substackers so far, in person, but so it does blur a little bit, but I still try to keep gates up, just for for most part for protection.
There's so many good tactics. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say, I was gonna open it up for Walter to comment on what you had just said. So I was gonna say, well, Walter, what are your thoughts on the discussion we just had about the debate?
And I think a lot of it is just good writing tactics. I mean, if you've ever bought a book by like a psychiatrist or whatever, and they're just like, I'm going to talk about scenarios, but I'm not going to name the patients, and I'm not going to change the events. So it's like a lot of the writing I do too is, okay, this is what really happened, and I'm going to keep the essence of what happened, but kind of change the circumstances enough so nobody's being exposed. So that, because we have a right to expose ourselves. We don't have a right to expose anybody else ever. So that is really that kind of fine line there. Another thing I wanted to say is now with AI tools, and I've seen this happen and we've seen this on social media, we don't know what everybody's seeing. It used to be in the old days, we'd all watch a TV, we'd know what's being broadcast on that TV. Now, 6 people can be in a room with devices, and they're looking at content that is specifically tailored to trigger their emotions and their traumas, to provoke a reaction out of them. And so and I've had this happen where stuff I've been online, I'll write an article, political article, and I'll get a bot comment that'll cite like my relationship with my father. It's designed to be a triggering attack comment to provoke me. And then they want you to do a kind of action that they can then report, and then you get deplatformed because they want to incite that. So there's all these things you have to be. So it's like, I guess it is. I mean, here I'm taking the judicial, like, deferring. Well, both sides are actually kind of right, but you do have to be careful. You have to be as truthful as possible. But I've always considered myself more of an introverted person, and I need my time. I'll say the things you want to kind of, but once the narrative is out there as a writer, you do lose control of it too. And also there's this whole thing about, like, with this Lindsey Graham thing, where they're like insisting on saying nice things about that fucking asshole. And I said, every time you are not being truthful about a person who spent his life hurting other people, you are re-traumatizing the people that he hurt. And I know too, it's like, there's people that have passed away in my life who have been abusive. Fuck no, I'm not going to hold their secret for them. Then beyond the grave, they're able to continue to torment me? No, goddammit. We are talking about these things now. So there is that important, like Sturg said, about maintaining your narrative, but also you have to do it in a way that protects yourself, and also that you don't expose yourself to liability concerns by sharing other people's secrets. So that's
exactly. So I think what Walter found was a good medium between the two of our arguments.
It was a good political answer.
yeah. Well, but it was an honest one too. So that's the difference.
Right.
That's why it's not political.
I know.
Well, I was about to say Walter ran for his House district, but I think your House district is safe Republican, isn't it?
No, we have got two wonderful candidates. Emily Berge is the one who's the anti-establishment candidate. I've talked to her like 5 or 6 times. Derek Van Orden is the guy in the seat now, and he can be beat.
Is he a
awful.
Republican or a Democrat?
He is a Republican. This is
Okay.
and I'm pretty confident that this seat is going to flip. The primary is next Tuesday on the 11th. But yeah, Emily Berge is the one I've talked to more than anybody else. And I've got to know her so well because again, it was early stages. It's just like, here's a platform. Let me help you. And so she sent me her number. And at one point, when ICE was doing its raids against the Twin Cities, and we got word because we were involved with the school district. We got a warning, like ICE is going to raid your city. And so I'm like, I'm keeping the kids home. Home. And I called Emily up on the phone, Emily Berge, and she is the highest elected official in the city council president of Eau Claire. And I said, I was kind of freaking out. And as I was talking to her, I was hearing my voice. I'm like, I'm kind of hysterical here. I'm like, this is what's happening. This is what I heard. What's going to happen? And she talked me down. She told me the things that they had in place. And I got off the phone and I'm like, that's remarkable. I've never had this experience where somebody in a political position or a person running for office took my call about my terror about this event
and calmed you down.
And she helped. And it's just sort of like, oh, you got my support. That's all I need. And I've set her up with a bunch of interviews on Substack, other people, and it's just she's got her war chest is only like 800,000. She's done a good job raising money, but her opponent is one of those taking the big PAC money.
Yeah.
So of course she's got millions and millions, but people are fed up with that shit right now. They're fed up with it. And we want the people to pick our representatives. We don't want big money. We don't want DC. We want the district to pick. And that's why she's in that race, and that's why I think she's going to win. Yes.
Awesome. And to segue into our final segment here, Walter, you kind of gave me the perfect transition here. There was a fan mail question specifically designed for you when I had went ahead and announced that you were going to be our special guest today. Somebody came in and gave me this fan question here. It says, Walter, I love your recent push to interview and elevate grassroots political candidates on Substack. It's refreshing to see someone focus on the empathy and the compassion rather than big war chests like we were talking about. When you sit down with these progressive grassroots political candidates, what is the number one non-political trait you look for to determine if they're truly working for the people? And I think you kind of answered it, but go ahead.
Integrity just shines through, and there's just this sense. And I think a lot of what's going on right now, and I saw Evie Bateman was in the chat before. We have those two minds, right? We have our intellectual mind and we have our gut. And our gut is the one that says, don't go down that dark alley, or like this guy, is dangerous. And like, those are the red flags we ignore. They all come from our gut. Right. Mm-hmm. And I think we're at that point again and again. They leverage our intellect to make us go against our gut. And you've seen that where the Democrats are like, well, this candidate's popular, but they're unelectable, and they say all that bullshit. And then we are tricked into going against our interests and selecting people that don't represent us. And I've been relying on my gut feeling. And I think other people, when you see these candidates, if I sit down with them, if we start laughing, there are candidates that I meet and it's like I've known them forever from the first minute or so, like from introducing myself to them, and we're just like in sync. I'm like, this is a good person. And then another thing is when I ask them a question and they think about it, they're not like, because you see this, our establishment, and we haven't seen like real candidates like in our whole lifetime. We've seen these suits that whatever you ask them, they're going to deflect to some corporate written talking point. And it's just like, and if you can have a real conversation with people where you're working through a problem that's in our society, and they're just like, gee, I hadn't considered that perspective. If they see things like that, and then they're just like, you see them stop and think about a question that you ask rather than instantly segue into response. That's how you know they're actually working for you. But yeah, it's trust your gut. You know what the good people are.
It's funny that you say the trusting your gut thing and Evie Bateman. I think it was her when I saw her in a video with Will Fullwood, and she was talking about going with your gut and the fact that your gut has neurons in it, and that's why that's kind of why where that phrase comes from.
It's so true. Yeah, that's all those nerve ending. It kind of functions that way. And we have all that involuntary responses, right? And we don't think about breathing. We don't think about our heart. There's this whole mechanism in our bodies that keeps us alive because they don't fully trust your brain. Like our mechanism as an organism doesn't completely trust your brain. And it's sort of like, too, the times you're driving home and you just don't remember a thing about that drive because you're something takes over. And I'm in that state a lot because my brain just goes off, and my poor family, I'll even answer questions, and they're just like, then I'll come back and have no awareness of what people have asked me. Yeah.
I have a funny story about what the analogy you just made. You can get this way very much on one of the straightest stretches of interstate in the entire U.S., which is Highway 80 or Interstate 80 in western Nebraska. So this is what happened when I was driving from California to Chicago when I first moved out of my home state in 2016. We were driving down the stretch. It was getting dark, but that is one of the most boring stretches of road in the entire US. Like, it's literally so straight, and there's like nothing in western Nebraska. This is like just coming out of the Rockies. It's like it's flattening out. There's like no civilization out there. There's barely any towns out there. You're just driving down the road. Your mind just blanks. You're just in that mode where you're like going down that road, but you're literally like, when is this going to end? Yeah. Like, it's literally from the time you get out of Cheyenne to go all the way to Lincoln. That's hours of driving, almost like a whole day. It's crazy.
Well, anyway, my writing state is like that too, where you're just out. It's like there's no conscious awareness going on when I'm doing my writing.
Yeah, for sure. I'm just responding to one of the people. So now the question for all three of us. Here we go. So this guy sent me a question. He says, I've been dating this guy for 3 months. Recently, he commented on how he doesn't like guys who wear glasses, looking at me knowing full well that I'm wearing glasses right in front of him. So he definitely wants me to hear this comment and kind of like internalize it. I don't know what he wants me to do with it.
Yeah.
I need my glasses to see. As 3 men who wear glasses, how would you respond to this guy? Should I leave him or see how this plays out? What are your thoughts?
Let's start with Brandon.
Let's start with Brandon. No, you're fine. You're fine. That's
okay. Fuck you.
I think it's pretty superficial and silly to break up over a pair of glasses. But I mean, I guess it depends on how strongly he feels about not liking a guy with glasses. You know, is that a deal breaker? If so, the deal's off, I guess.
It's not the glasses. The guy's a dick. I mean, that's what I'd say. That's rude. It's a rude thing to say to somebody who's sitting there wearing glasses. And if somebody lacks that level of respect to even maintain, it's fuck off. I'm gone. I'd get up and leave. And it's like, you don't put up with that shit. LC was knows. It's like the second you feel, it's like, that's disrespectful. I'm not going to justify this disrespect.
I think Walter internalized this rejection and took his glasses off just now.
Well, they fog up. My rage makes them fog up.
No, he's like, this guy's gonna leave me, even though I'm straight, and he's like,
I would take him off and be like, fuck you. Leave.
Right.
Yeah, but it's not about the glasses if they're saying shit like that. No, that's not even part of it. Yeah.
They're trying to get this person to leave them.
They're provoking. They're seeing what they can get away with. They're seeing the shit that you'll put up with. And that's just gonna get worse. And the way that grooming shit happens, like just anything, any level of disrespect, you don't give them the benefit of the doubt. You say that shit's got to stop. It's because they want to see if the next time it'll be a little bit more, because they want to find out where the boundary is. That's how this works. I've had enough of it in my life. Right. Zero tolerance for that shit. You can be nice, make the extra effort to be nice. You know, it feels better. Yeah.
Exactly.
And it's not that hard.
Oh, man, it is not. And there's so many benefits.
And the thing is if it's not that hard, your dick pic isn't going to look that artistic.
Or that could be a new genre, like the soft ones, like the beautiful ones, but it's, in repose. Dick in repose, another, show.
There's quite a bit of nudity, male nudity. Maybe there's female too, but I've only seen the male ones. But there's quite a bit of that on Substack. It's entitled. It's supposed to be artistic. It's not just nudity for the sake of nudity. It's supposed to be artistic.
Nobody's ever done it, have they? I mean, it's like in the whole history of mankind, we've never had these artistic versions. The celebration of it in a way that's not repugnant. Yeah. How come men haven't done this? Why wouldn't they? How come they've never captured what is beautiful about themselves? It's sad.
# free the softies. Walter Ryan's definitely making this trend right now. He's gonna be number one on TikTok. That's happening.
Oh, man.
Anyway, oh my gosh, Walter, it's been a real pleasure getting to talk to you today. Loved it. I mean, this
Oh,
was
it's been fun.
great.
Yeah, you guys are
And,
great.
we do this thing at the end of our show where we usually do, like, an outro. I'm sure you've seen the outro before, but Brandon, let's go ahead and start it, and then we can talk a little bit more right after it. I just wanna get it in.
Okay.
So well, we usually say something like what we're working on or
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
But I
So
mean,
let's each plug what we're working on this week first, sorry.
so my
And then
next thing is Thursday evening. I'm going to be interviewing a fairly new Substacker. He's never been on a live video before, but he's put out a few of his own videos promoting his stories and stuff. And he writes fiction, and his name is Ant C. He's from the UK. And so
I've seen him around.
Thursday evening, I'll be interviewing him and asking him about his fiction series. So I hope we'll get some people in there and kind of show him some support and, ask him some questions
Nice.
if you want to go read his stuff first. But that's the main thing. I would Sturg and I both will be on Saturday with Jay Hong and
Kyle Ryan on,
Kyle
the show.
Ryan and Ginger and
Ginger's on our team, and then we're going against Brandon Jayhawk. I think Stevie Duffy's gonna be
yeah.
on. We don't know all of our opponents yet, but I know Jayhawk and Stevie Duffy, I think, were the main ones.
Yeah.
We're going on the show Pros and Cons, which is a Substack game show. It's
Yeah.
a trivia show. So
That'll be fun.
I've never been on a trivia show on a media thing before. I've done plenty of trivia and I've won a ton of trivia because one time I walked into a bar with like groups of 6 people and I came by myself and nobody wanted to join my team and I just went in there and beat everyone.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, that's how you do it. And I told Jay Hong that. She's like, "Okay, fine, we're gonna put you on the show with Brandon and Ginger." And I'm like, "Yes, we're gonna kick some ass."
Nice. I love it.
But yeah, that's what's happening on Saturday. At 4, is it 4 Eastern or is it 5 East?
Well, I only know my times. 3 Central. That's
3
all I
Central,
know.
4 Eastern, 4 Eastern.
I can't keep track of anybody
I have
else's.
a hard time with that too. Everybody does.
Yeah.
And so we're gonna go on there on 4 Eastern. I'm supposed to be doing karaoke tomorrow, but we got throttled this week by our internet service provider, so I have to keep all my videos short. So I don't know what I'm gonna do with tomorrow, but we'll see what happens. But we do karaoke for a couple hours every week on Substack from 7 to 9. It's called Wild Wailing Wednesdays with Fiona and Sturge. Fiona Bridges was in here earlier, my co-host.
Nice.
Let's see what else. I don't really have much else going on. Onyx Rose and I are planning to reschedule. I'm going to go on with Samantha Page next week. Let's see. Well, you and I, Brandon, we go on every week, and we will have a different guest next week. So I'm going to see how that goes because we loved it. We love this format this week. Walter coming in was a wonderful, wonderful addition to the show. I think he brought a great energy to this today. Walter, go ahead and plug what you're going to plug, and then we'll do our outro, and then we can talk a little bit more.
All right, tomorrow, and I think it's 10 a.m. Central. I'm talking with Karen. She just changed her name, and Deidre is a lawyer. It's going to be normalization of violence in public schools. Karen she had to leave a job. She was teaching at this rural Wisconsin school, and she was just getting harassed by the students so much. I mean, it's a school where the mascot of the school is a Klansman. They claim it's the galloping, but it's called the Galloping Ghost. It's clearly a Klansman. They have this backstory about how it's Red Grange. Clearly, it is a Klansman. So, and Deidre is a lawyer. She actually is a Yale-educated lawyer. So there's all these legal questions about it. There was this video that went around too about these. I think it was a church. They did this video where they were like shooting somebody. This was trending a little while ago. So it's related to that. The school also used to do like a reenactment of the Civil War where they made the students go out until Karen shut it down. So that's tomorrow. And then Thursday, I'm talking with Chris Resist and what is her name? The Nightmare Handmaid. That's at 9:30 Central. I'm talking with Will Fullwood and Frederick Pogue at 11:30. And then at 1, I'm talking to Ben Ulancy. And then on Saturday at, I think it's 4 Central, I'm talking to Erica Kopp and Dr. Jamicia Connor. And we're just going about, the maternal mortality rate's about to go. This is really serious. The GOP has just decimated healthcare. Women are about to just be destroyed because there are not going to be enough OBGYNs It's going to be a horror show in the United States. So we just want people to know the reality of that. Why it's not a question anymore. We have to do universal health care because people are going to die. So
Medicare for all.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Wow, you've got such an impressive lineup there.
Yeah,
and let's
you've
go ahead
got a lot going on.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
beautiful.
the best one, the one that I caught, the one that really caught my attention that he said about all his scheduled lives is Ben Lancey.
Mm-hmm.
I
We're
mean,
talking about the Odyssey. I'm because I was like, I'm like, it's just mediocre. It's not great, and people are just getting on my case. So I'm like, all right, good. Let's debate this because it doesn't mean anything at all. Let's debate it.
Exactly. All right,
well, I appreciate you also coming on, Walter. I know you're very busy and appreciate you taking the time.
Oh,
but
I love it. I've missed you guys.
So this has been another. I've been Brandon Ellrich with
Walter Ryan. Wait, no, you say your own name.
Oh,
Ryan.
yeah.
Yeah, Walter Ryan. I'd rather be right.
And
Sturg writes it down.
And this has been another episode of Tuesdays
with
2
gays. And you read band books. Okay.
And a straight guy. And a straight guy.
Uh-huh. So let's talk for a little bit more, and then we can log right off. Just a couple more minutes, and then we can just.
That's a good idea. Now the dynamo, as they say in French.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, you know French?
No.
I was going to start going because that's the language I'm learning right now. I was just going to start going off.
I'm good at Spanish.
Yeah, I took a French course in college, and I don't remember much of it at all. I got through it, and the teacher said I pronounced things well, and So said the same thing when I went live with her in December, and she wanted to do a song with me and sing it, and it was all in French. And she was like, so she gave me the phrase, and I said it, and she's like, "Oh, your pronunciation is so good." I'm like, "Yeah, but I don't know what I'm saying." You know.
Señor Ryan, ¿por qué tú no hablaste español en tus videos?
Debo hacer un video en español. Debo hacer unas entrevistas en español. En el futuro de repente, pero no sé cuántas personas que me siguen pueden hablar este idioma. Pero había un par de veces que hablaba con Egberto Willis en español y siempre su cara se levanta con mucha felicidad.
That's very nice. I'm sure. Yeah, like you said, I'm sure he loved that. No, I understood what he said. I didn't have enough time to respond back because it would have taken me a minute.
And it's I got that nice. The accent from Peru is really. I think it's easier on the American ear, like the accent that they speak in Peru, and that's the one I have. So that confuses people. Like if I'm at Chipotle or something, and I'm just like, "Oh, I'll order in Spanish," so they're like, "Where did you learn Spanish?" Because it's like a weird accent for them, depending on where they're from.
My teacher in high school, when I learned Spanish, that was my second language, was from Peru.
Ah, nice.
And she was married to a German guy, so her name was Marta Wetzel.
Nice. I like the combination of the Spanish and the German name.
Exactly. Yeah, she was such a fun lady.
I had my wife. I'm just like, we're not going to change names. Like every single one of your documents is in your name, like your degree, your legal documents. We got to go through immigration. It's like never once did I even seriously consider the idea of having her change her name to mine because I just don't want that extra headache because we're going through these documents. So it was all practical.
¿Tu esposa es de Perú?
Sí, peruana.
That's nice. Did you understand that, Brandon?
Oh yeah, but I was.
His wife is Peruvian. Yeah. His wife is Peruvian.
Yeah,
that's what we were talking about.
Yeah.
Well, I knew that, but
actually, I did know that. You did tell me that before.
Yeah. It's ongoing, and I mean that's kind of I wrote an article about people harassing my kids back in 2015 for this is America because we have always been a Spanish speaking in our household, and I wrote this article. It was a letter to the editor that got shared 250,000 times, and I'd been writing before that, but that was one of the first times I really kind of made an impact with my writing. And it's been just going on like the racial identity, just understanding as I understood there was something wrong with the United States in my gut, back when I left in 2001 and went to live in Peru for 9 years. And it's just been this ongoing process of having my mind catch up with what my body already knew. And we're in this state of recalibration where we have to reform this country and make it, for all humans.
Okay. So I'm not going to co-opt with the the political wing of the people who say this now, but we actually want to make America great again.
Yeah. Well, make it great for the first time is what we need to do.
You get what I'm saying. I know.
Yeah.
I know it's never been great.
Make America gay again.
Ah, that's my mic.
The voice from the wings. I love it. That's funny.
All right, guys. Oh my gosh. I think this was a great way to end this. And I love that we had so much to talk about today. It was amazing. And all of us brought something to the conversation. So that was wonderful.
It was. Next time I'll bring a story along. I'll prepare that.
Yes. We're going to definitely have you back on at some point in the future. We have to, because this was too much fun.
Yeah. If he's not too traumatized by what happened today, we'll see.
Next time I'm going to bring a really inappropriate story to the mix.
We can all bring in our artistic pictures, you know.
Oh.
Who wants to bring in his bedazzled softie?
Oh my.
He's bringing in his bedazzled. Yeah.
I was thinking like in Superbad, remember, where he's doing like Tiananmen Square, like that kind of thing, but like really artistic and beautiful. So, but
exactly,
we'll make that a trend where people actually want to see them.
Yeah.
So Medicare for all, but also hashtag dicks for all.
Dicks for all.
Beautiful.
Awesome.
Beautiful, soft, bedazzled dicks for all.
Well, thanks everybody for coming in. If you're still here.
Oh man.
All right. Well, thanks. Have a great afternoon, evening.
Yeah.
Thanks everybody.
Appreciate you guys. That was really fun.
See you next time. Bye.
Bye-bye.